Polaris was founded in 1954. We're a company that started off with the invention of the snowmobile. We're based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're a global operation.
From the first snowmobile, developing that industry, and then coming out with the ATVs. It's really developed into kind of a power sports center. We have a lot of different products from motorcycles now to side-by-side sport products, utility products.
We also have our parts, garments, and accessory products that serve and support all of our product lines.
We have about 2,500 dealers. We're about $2 billion right now, and obviously, we're looking to grow all the time with all the different new products that we have coming out, so it's a very exciting place to work.
The business challenges we face within our company really has to do with innovation and making sure that we've got the right features, benefits, and costs to be able to support our customers.
Cost historically is something very difficult to work with. You have different aspects going into it. You have the supplier costing, you have the cost that the engineering is designing in. Both of those are very difficult to work with because they're dynamic. You've got commodities moving around, you've got designs moving around, and it was very difficult historically to tie those two together.
Visibility to cost for Polaris back before we started using a priori was basically non-existent. We were trying to get visibility of our costs earlier in the design cycle so we could make the right trade-offs, features, benefits, and part costs to allow us to get to the cost targets that we knew we needed to get to hit the right value proposition.
The other issue we were facing was timing. It's a very lengthy process to work with a supplier. On some parts it could be as simple as 2 weeks. You simply send the design out and you come back with a cost. On other parts it could take up to 6 months or 9 months to develop that part cost.
We also couldn't program in what we thought commodity costs could be, if there were rising commodities, or if we were going to change sourcing strategy, what would happen to our costs on sourcing strategy, or if we were going to change volume assumptions based on the business case. We had used a cost tool in the past, very complex software that we could have one person run, and quite frankly, they didn't run it very well. It was very hard. We never got the benefits. What was really important is to have something that the technical teams could understand, integrate with our Pro-E software, and see real-time results.
There's some big concerns about, well, how much time is this going to take? Is it difficult to use? Are there a lot of buttons? And really when we got into it, we found out that it was really very easy. It was one of those programs that fortunately it was very intuitive as far as its layout. Everything made sense.
One of the benefits we saw out of the a priori software when we were analyzing it was the ability to get real-time numbers, make design changes real-time, and have good understanding of what we expected the cost to be before going to our supplier, hence allowing us to reduce our cycle time.
It seemed like magic going on in the background. It's actually using some science to figure out what's going on. So it's looking at part weights, it's looking at volumes, geometries, and it was able to do it in a matter of seconds or minutes to find out that cost of the product.
A priori software allows us to analyze the unit cost, the sensitivity to volumes, and sensitivity to different manufacturing processes that impact either the unit cost or the tooling cost, so we understand the total cost of being able to develop a product for the right market.
It was very flexible from a material choice standpoint. You have obviously a suite of materials within a priori that you're able to choose, so you can go with steels, aluminums, different grades of those materials. And it was very useful from a perspective of trading off performance versus weight versus cost. It gives you a lot more flexibility to be able to ask those key questions and optimize that design. And also just the integration with the CAD software that we were using. It wasn't something that was standalone where you had to walk across the office and go to a whole separate workstation. You could actually do it while you were working in real time.
I was very impressed. We're an open innovation culture, free-flowing thinking. We cannot have a lot of bureaucracy in our systems, and we have to let the teams have the ability to invent. Having a seamless tool that works with the teams has allowed us to change the entire engineering culture to be a cost-sensitive team while at the same time being innovation-driven. To get successful launch of the tool, we picked a high visibility product, our Ranger XP.
When we initially started out, we used it for a strut casting to take a look at whether the material choice and the process choice there was the best that we could.
It's our fastest growing business. That was just coming out in the upgraded version of that. It had, again, some very aggressive cost goals, and it hit all those cost goals when we were done with it.
The results with that were extremely positive. We noticed an immediate ability to be able to challenge the supply base with that cost. There was about a $3 to $4 delta between what we were paying and what the a priori software predicted that we should be paying. And then also look at the design of it and figure out, were we really doing it in the most optimal manner?
It had an initial impact in the first year of use of more than $800,000 of savings.
In addition to that, we had numerous amounts of soft savings, so avoidance savings from getting the designs right the first time in the several $million range.
And over the time, we've been able to save more than 50% of our tooling cost for the use of the product, which allows us to take that investment dollars and reinvest it back into our engineering efforts to be able to go out and create new products.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, if you look at the amount of people you would have had to add to pull off that sort of cost reduction on this sort of scale, it would have been far too many for the organization.
The change process for the company was a fairly seamless change process. Today it's not even considered, it's just our way of life, it's our way of business. It's changed the whole culture of how we design our product. We were so happy with the software and the tool that we decided to immediately roll it across all of our product lines. We've launched typically 50 products per year, all utilizing a priori software right now.
Immediately we went up to over 100 users, trained in as many as we could, and really boosted that usage and said, this is a tool that we need to be using on a daily basis. This isn't a fad, it's not going away, this is going to help us.
The most recent ones would be our Crossroads cross-country motorcycles, which were able to design and actually beat all their cost targets and able to reduce their cycle time to market by 30% by utilizing the tool. Also in our off-road business, our Ranger RZR XP, a priori software was able to cut our design cycle time on that by over 50% and beat its cost goals by more than 20%. As we go forward, all product teams are utilizing the product, and any of our new initiatives also are using the tool as one of the design requirements.
Given the success that we've had with a priori, we really decided that we needed to expand the usage. So with that, we decided that a 4-year agreement was really the best way to do that.
Every product has a cost target for the entire vehicle, but we also have cost targets now for every subsystem of a vehicle. A subsystem for us could be something like an engine, a suspension system, seats, plastic, bodyworks.
Cost reduction is a journey. It's a very difficult journey, and you need to make sure everybody is with you on it. A priori is really one of those tools that you couldn't set off without. From our experience, it's an essential part of the design process. It's like trying to design things now without CAD. It's something you just have to have. It's like oxygen. Without it, what we do would not be possible for the most part.
I've been absolutely thrilled with the use of the tool within our organization, but each organization needs to look at it uniquely to their own needs. Whether they have unit cost targets that they're trying to achieve, understanding how it can help you achieve your capital requirements. Simultaneous, you really have to understand how it will work with your design system and process. And having a tool, for me, that's seamless within our organization that allows us to continue to innovate and grow was critical to us.
If you were looking to adopt the software and you were considering a different version or a different solution, you really have to ask yourself, is there anything out there that can do this as well or as fast? You could develop custom solutions for it, you could develop software internally, but really, is it going to be as effective? The answer is no. These guys do this every day. This is really the way to do it.